Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little beautifuls out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously. I hope that you're feeling the love. You continue to feel the love, my little honey bunnies. Now then, my delicious babies. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? So, the time at the moment, my delicious babies, is nearly 11 a.m. on this 15th of July 2026. It's a lot cooler today. But not to worry, not to worry. It may warm up a bit, okay? But it's still t-shirt weather, okay? My delicious babies, look at this. A lot of snakes, isn't there, my delicious babies? Yeah, we're hearing a lot about the old, the second. Shook up. The second pandemic on the way, aren't we, my delicious babies? It's everywhere, here, there, and effing everywhere. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that, but I hope that you too, my little beautifuls, are having super duper delicious weather. And if for any reason you are not, I am extremely sorry to hear that. But hopefully the weather will pick up wherever you are in the world. Okay, my delicious little babies, sorry. Anyway, sorry, please excuse me. Now then, my delicious little babies, so I've got three bits of information today, my delicious little babies. It's all right, it's a beautiful, dear little sweet neighbours, bless them. Oh, they're smiley and they're really lovely, they just live up the road. Anyway, my delicious little babies, now then. Um, so what is it that I want to say? Yeah, three bits of information today, okay? When the sun's out, my delicious babies, I'm just going to be honest, okay? I like to get as much, there we are, sunshine as I can, because I love the sun and the sun loves me. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's how it rocks and rolls. But once again, I do feel sorry for anybody who happens to have any breathing difficulties at this time of year. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, what is it that I want to talk about? So, firstly, my delicious babies, let me just get this out of the way very quickly, and then I'll have a little natter. I've got such an itchy nose. Must be everything that they're dropping, you know what I mean? My delicious babies, anyway. Now then, so the first one, my delicious babies, this is nearly an hour long with anybody not in that way, not in that way. And this uploader happens to have 35.6 thousand subscribers. Anybody in the alternative media will know who I am talking about here, and this is Geopolitics and Empire. So it's only been uploaded a number of hours ago, my delicious babies. This talks about, they have a conversation to do with, AI and everything like this. Now, why am I mentioning this? I do listen to some of the videos, okay? As I do with other uploaders, okay, my delicious babies. And the reason why I'm mentioning it, because we have genuinely got, and this is nothing against the dear uploader, I do not mean it's that way, and if anybody feels that I do, well, please move from my channel, because ones and services are not required. Okay, my delicious babies, please and thank you. So this is nothing against anybody who does happen to listen to my channel or swing by it or pass by it, okay? Now, the reason why I mention this is because, you see, and I do not mean this in the wrong sense of the words, but we are still having, a serious problem. And it is to do with mental health. And I do not mean that in a nasty way. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? Because, it is a worry. And the one who owns the channel, he does express genuine concern, for what is going on in the world and how we are going to overcome these problems, it seems, my delicious babies. But he's not the only one. I'm just giving an example of one. But if we look at the world right now, my delicious babies, it appears that you've got, say, three quarters of our mankind in the world, very sadly, who are also very sadly suffering mental health. And for a lot of them, they have not got over what happened with the old pandemic back in 2020. But like I said, we've known long time. Okay, martyrish babies, the ones who know that they're trying to bring in, there we are, the second time around. Now then, martyrish babies, so that's the first video. Very interesting to take a listen to, but no, if somebody out there is feeling stressed out, for whatever reason, martyrish babies, please, that doesn't mean no, please, do not be afraid, say how you feel, say what your thoughts are. As I always say, it's an old-fashioned saying, martyristic babies, a problem shared there we are, is a problem halved. Okay? So ones may just feel that they're just sitting in the camera, talking to nobody. Well, I have that feeling, most days, martyristic babies anyway, not to worry, there's always someone seeing, there's always someone hearing. But nobody should be ashamed to say, there we are, that they are fearing something, because when they hold it in, what happens? It makes themselves poorly and sick, and that is not something we are liking. Okay, my delicious babies. So just going to say it the way it is. For myself, I'm pretty, there we are, feeling rather laid back. There we are, and one, not in literal terms, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? What do I mean by that? Because I can say, there we are, that things are getting done. Okay, there we are, my delicious babies, plus the fact that more and more and more are happening to, thankfully, there we are, see what's going on. Okay, my delicious babies. Now, the next one, this uploader here happens to have 23.4 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies. This uploader is called capital E, economic space, capital H, history. You and me got a whole lot of history, yeah. We could be the greatest thing that the world has ever seen. You and me got a whole lot of history, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Okay? Because I'm easy like Sunday morning, yeah. What year were those songs, my delicious babies? Yes. Anyway, so this was uploaded 5 months ago. Now I have kept it on my saved, and because I know when I'm going to please release me, let me go. I keep them there for a while, my delicious babies, till I'm ready to drop. You know what I mean? Okay, that doesn't mean literally. Now then, this video should read 5 assets governments can't seize financial collapse. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm not talking to anybody who's super duper excellent out there at knowing this information. I'm talking to our delicious babies who maybe do not know this information. National Grid's just gone up the road, my delicious babies. Anyway. So, I'll just repeat this again for you. 5 assets governments can't seize financial collapse. Okay, so basically, why am I saying this? Because when we've looked at collapses previously, one of the famous ones, infamous rather, is the 2008. Okay, so what ones are trying to do is for that not to happen again, Martin, babies. Anyway, so that's that one. The final video that I'm going to advertise today happens to have 14.3 thousand subscribers, Martin babies, and this video here should read capital G, garden, space, capital E, explained, then little writing with, and then space, capital H, Harry. So it should read all spaces, garden, explained with Harry. Okay, once again, I kept this one on my saved. Okay, my delicious babies. The video should read, this is about nearly 24 minutes long, my delicious babies. Infinite chocolate without a single cacao. The 130 billion industry buried this plant. Okay, Madeline baby, so I'm just going to repeat this again for you. Infinite chocolate without a single cacao. The 130 billion industry buried this plant. Okay, Madeline baby, so now we've got to close our book, and what we've got to remember to do, everybody, my little beautifuls, we've got to go backwards. Okay, my delicious little babies. Now, let me just have a little conversation. So I was looking at a little video yesterday, my delicious little babies, and this little video, there happened to be a little tree, and this little tree seemed to be a little bit out of place. She was a pretty little tree, but she was out of place. Anyway, my delicious babies. But when I looked at the tree, this is what happens with myself, my delicious babies. It's really hard for ones to understand. And sometimes it feels as though, I may say something or something like this now then, for no reason, or ones may feel that I'm not all the cups in the cupboard, the lift doesn't go up to the top floor. Well, I can assure everybody, my delicious babies, that that is not the case at all. I'm fully sane, thankfully. I've got my noddle, there we are, where it should be, okay? And at the end of the day, I just see something else. And when I looked at the tree on this video, I got the song, "You'll find better love next time, baby. Don't give up, and I know you're gonna find better love next time, baby." Now, something will be waiting down the line with better love. And that's the song that I got. Now, when I looked onto Quack Quack Go this morning, my delicious babies, what year was that song? 1979. Okay, my delicious babies, and when I watch the video, they'll know who it is, my little beautiful. Okay. There's always a reason why I do something, and it's just comes straight into me noddle. So it's not me just making things up now, too weird. It's not myself making things up, my delicious babies, you know what I mean? It's just I looked at it and then that's the song that I got. But I'm going for the year. There we are. Do you see what I mean, my delicious babies? Yes, okay. This is why my noddle works the way it does. Anyway, finally. So I was putting some comments. It's not like myself. Sometimes I put comments. Sometimes I'll just put thank you to whoever the uploader is and, bright blessings to you all. And then occasionally it's like I get this wave where I've got to say something mad to the babies. Anyway, I did. But wait until I tell you this, okay? This is nothing against any of our lovely uploaders. Not in that way, okay? But I happen to put, there's an old-fashioned saying that I've known for decades. And the old-fashioned saying is, my delicious baby. So maybe I never explained it properly, for ones to understand. Okay, maybe they're a little bit, there we are, behind myself. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? Yeah, stumbled there, rightfully so. And that is not myself bigging myself up. They just do not get what I'm saying. But for others, there we are. They will, okay? Now, this old-fashioned saying, my delicious babies, is all to do with in life, wherever one is where they're meant to be. There we are. Okay? So, okay, let's say somebody's, for example, having a career break. Let's just say that as an example. I'm just throwing an example out to you. So you're having a career break. So while they're doing that, and it feels like something's not going anywhere, that is not the case at all. Because they're having, there we are, a career break. Now, somebody else, as an example, which I have had some calls actually lately, my delicious babies, and messages, to do with ones are feeling very lonely. Only the lonely, bam, 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 okay, my delicious, I'm not taking the pee, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Anyway, I advised them, okay, yeah, gosh, I had to have a right gulp then, didn't I, my delicious babies? I advised them with the best possible advice that I could give. But this is what I'm saying, my delicious babies. Everybody, there we are, is going through something. You imagine a television screen, Mads Lichtlich babies, and you imagine all little boxes, and then you can see all different laughs in all different boxes. Okay, Mads Lichtlich babies, that is laugh. Okay. So, who said that? Was it Esther Ranson? Yeah, she has a shady past, doesn't she, Mads Lichtlich babies? Yes. Anyway, get back to the matter in hand. So I put this comment, that one's, like somebody else, for whatever reason, could break up with somebody. It happens. I've been advising ones this week. And the fact of the matter is, man, to listen about this is this. Again, I'm just, giving out, I'm just getting across something. I'm done explaining something that they could be stood still. So it appears that the laugh can be rather lonely at this time, or, there's something else going on. But the where, there we are, they should be. Now, what have I received? I've been bombarded with different replies, Martin babies, and some have been, oh, they're getting touchy. Can't touch this. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Can't touch this. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. And it makes me smile. You know what I mean? Martin babies, yes. Because, ones are getting rather itchy, isn't it? You know what I mean? Getting a bit twitchy. You know why? Because they're not understanding the comment that I put. Simple things, simple things. They're not understanding. They're not getting it. You see, why are we here? Where we're here. We're here, Mads Lichtlich babies, for a reason. Because everybody is now seeing first, there we are, what the crack is. And what the crack has been going on over the decades, Mads Lichtlich babies. So right now, we're here where we should be to see if we're blessed to see and blessed to hear, because so very sadly, not everybody is. We send much love to them. Okay, Mads Lichtlich babies. So, sorry, excuse me. So, ones are just not getting what I'm saying. They read the comments, but they do not understand the comments. Not many do. Okay, my delicious little baby. So that's what I'm saying. But it's just amazing, isn't it, that ones get, there we are, twitchy, twitchy, twitchy. But, they're quite happy to fire on all cylinders, old-fashioned saying, my delicious little babies, okay? They're quite happy to do that, but they're not quite happy to address their damn selves. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? And that's what I'm saying. So anyway, I sent, as I feel, there we are, a very pleasant comments, as I usually do, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? And that's what laugh is about. But do not, it's not in literal terms, my delicious little babies, but do not shoot, there we are, the messenger. All that I'm doing is expressing my views. And not everybody is going to agree with my views, and maybe I'm not going to agree with somebody else's, all of their views. But that's the beauty of life, my delicious little babies. But we are where we are because more and more now are seeing, and we can, due to a terrible, disgusting business back in 2020, and very sadly what followed, but we can also take, there are a lot of positivity that many more who would never have seen before, there we are seeing more. Do you see what I mean? So we are where we are, there we are, for a reason. But like I said, remember a great big television. Remember you have all different boxes, so everybody's living different lives. It's ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense. You know what I mean, Mad? Lichtlich babies, okay? But the one thing I do is when the sun's out, let me tell you, this is my relaxation. There we are, simple things. It's my relaxation. You know what I mean? I like to, there we are, chillax. I like to get a bit of the old, tan on my skin. I like to feel all wonderful, there we are, and delicious in myself. And why shouldn't I? And why shouldn't anybody else feel wonderful and delicious in their own skin, in their own bodies? Okay, I listen to, there we are, a lot of different videos, my delicious little babies, okay? But for myself, no disrespect to anybody, I do not need to, because I got, there we are, stored up here, there we are, in my own noddle. There we are. And if more just did that, instead of firing, like I just said, on all cylinders, without understanding, because this is what's happened, isn't it? We seem to be living in a world where there's lots of colossal amounts of misunderstandings. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? And I hope that I have explained it. There we are, that I feel, well, I know I have, in the way that I was put in the comments. But it just goes to show, my delicious little babies, you can please some of the time, but not everybody all of the time. But like I just said, that's the beauty of life, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I've heard that many sad parts of news so very sadly over these weeks and months, and I just thought to myself, you know what? It is a true blessing, my delicious little babies, that I'm here, that others are here, that you're here, okay, that our family, friends, that we're all here, because we're here and somebody else, there we are, very sadly, has gone through something else. And we're seeing it a lot in the world, aren't we, my delicious little babies? Do you know what I mean? So that's really all that I want to say today on my video. But it just goes to show, the mentality, and I'm not going to take back a word what I say, the mentality, there we are, of some mothers do have them. They're not really quite, that I feel personally, there we are, clued up. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies, yes. Anyway, and one last thing, they sent us more flipping effing bins, didn't they, my delicious little babies? And I just happened to be finishing my shorty video to your beautiful little selves, for anybody so kind enough to put a like or listen. So bless you, thank you. And I come out, I thought, what's all this bloody damn commercial? Only dropping off flipping more bloody tall bins. So now, for most, what have they got? 4 flipping damn bins in the gardens, my delicious babies. If this is not taking the effing pee, then I do not know what is. But you know what I did? I said it very nicely. I said, can you please put the bin that you've just put here for myself? I said, this is no disrespect to yourself, isn't it? That's what I said to your man there. Not in that way, not in that way. I said, this is one big scam. I said, I'm not going along with it. I said, they're not even been collecting the recycling, for any plastic or any cardboard, because that's what the recycling is. It's like half and half. This one here is just a cardboard. This is a green and black one, my delicious babies. The other one is a blue and black. The other one is a grey. And then they send you these poxy, for flipping, when you have to go out, my delicious babies, for most of us, go and buy, spuds or whatever else it is, potatoes, as others would know. I know them as spuds. And, and any peelings, give back to them. They're cheeky effers, man. So what they're telling you, isn't it? They're done telling you they're taking the damn pee. What they're saying is, right, you can spend your ka-ching or your hard-earned ka-ching. You can get to the supermarket or whatever. Then we'll have all of your bits back. Then we'll grow back it. And then we'll feed it back to your damn selves. Is that not taking a complete pee, my delicious little babies? Yes. So I said, no, I said, please put it back on the truck. I do not want it. I said, and tell them my number. I told them a number of my home. I said, please tell them the number of my home. I said, they want to contact me, then they can get in contact with myself. I said, but I'm not having no more bins. And I know that for a lot, they were at work. For others who were at home, or maybe they never saw it that particular time. But if more and more, there we are, but if more and more and more did this and just said no, N-O spells no. Where can they go with this? And this is their way now. I mean, some little gardens, I feel so truly blessed, my delicious babies, because our garden, for me and my little babies now, is, large enough for myself. It's pretty open spaced, and I feel truly blessed for that. But other little gardens, I'm not too sure who was doing the architecture, mind you. I think these have been built since 1964. Well, the fact of the matter is, some gardens are very small, so I'm not sure how they worked it all out with measurements, you know what I mean? They seem to have missed a bit out here and gave a bit more there, you know what I mean? Okay, my delicious babies, but the fact of the matter is that for some, once you put all the bins in there, there's no space, it covers up everything. The grass, the slabs, it covers up everything. Can you see what I mean, my delicious babies? So they do not want ones to enjoy the gardens. They do not want ones to enjoy flowers or your lights or your fences or your trees or your bushes. Oh, no, 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 no. They're not wanting that, my delicious babies. What they're wanting is for you to look at damn plastic all day and all night. Huh? And then that justifies the council tax. Ones only have to go and quack, quack, go and look at Article 61, my delicious babies. Yes. I've said this long time anyway. Many years ago. There we are. My delicious babies. And for anybody who doesn't know out there, does not know, sorry, correct English. Because I know for, some will, but for our delicious babies who do not, all spaces, the space straw man. Okay, my delicious babies on YouTube. Should anybody, I've advertised years ago, but there we are. I'm doing a repeat. Okay, my delicious babies. There we are, and there's a reason why I do what I do. Okay, my delicious babies. But yes, I'm not putting up with this crap. And I've got a spare this little grey which goes inside the little brown. So I've got some flowers, those Aldi ones, my delicious babies that I managed to save. I'm going to plant them today. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put them in a little grey pot, plastic pot. I'm going to put them in there, and then I'm going to hang them where the hanging basket would go. Okay, my delicious babies, and that's my sticking my two damn fingers up. There we are to these, that I can find better things to do with these plastic boxes. The other ones growing me little spuds. They are growing. My delicious babies are about there now. Okay, my delicious babies, and my celery is still growing. That's in the brown boxes of spuds. And then I've got a little round plant pot for my celery. Okay, my delicious babies. Okay, so that's what I've been doing. So what do we do, my delicious babies? Utilise, there we are, what we have. You know what I mean? But I'm certainly not going to stand there all day and that, peeling away, giving everything back to them. They can F off nicely and get on the bike and pedal fast because they're not getting it from my address. Okay? It's like a continuous process with them, just to continuously take the damn pee. And if one's new, my delicious babies, what you can do as well, oh, there's a helicopter flying rather low. Okay, my delicious babies, if one's new about the cardboard and what you can do, I've been saving my egg boxes, my empty egg boxes, my delicious babies, because you can do things with those as well. Okay, with when you receive these big large televisions, or in some boxes that white foamy stuff, you mix that with another solution. I've said this long time back, whatever o'clock, you can make your own glue. So you see what I'm saying, my delicious babies? We've been taking a damn pee for long enough, isn't it? So when his one's going to say, there we are, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I can't go on no more now. Enough is enough. And that's where I'm going to leave my video, my delicious babies. So thank you so very much once again for any views, for any likes, for the occasional comments, and how I love you all. So you are all super duper wonderful, super duper delicious, super duper beautiful, and I'll love you, my little honey bunnies. Okay, my delicious babies. So until my next video, sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves or your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected, and how I love you so. Please take care of yourselves, and please try to take care of others, because we are in a bonkers, crackers and crazy world. And I am seeing so many little bees. I'm seeing so many little ladybirds. I'm seeing so many little butterflies. Do, 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 do. Remember that song? I don't know the words to that. To the butterfly song. Anyway, my little babies, so it's so beautiful to see. And when you see how hard all of our beautiful, little creatures, great and small, how hard they work, you know what I mean? They go, all the little flowers, they especially go to the lavender, you know what I mean? They just absolutely adore, and they're all swarming there, you know what I mean? Mad little babies, but it's just so beautiful, and they do tend to like the more expensive little flowers. They sort of, my little red ones will, our beautiful little bees demolish them very, very, very quickly. But I do not mind because they're doing their work too. Okay, my little babies are also beautiful. So until my next video, thank you so very much for listening once again. Take care now then. Love ya. Goodbye.